excited. Our guys are going to be excited to finally get to try to play again on Sunday. And we've had a little bit of a disjointed week, obviously, with practice, but a little bit more normalcy, than the last, yesterday and today, and hopefully tomorrow. And, we'll get ready to play Memphis on Sunday afternoon.
Coach, I would expect that you're probably out for Sunday. Who's in, who's out?
Well, I'm out. I can tell you that. Hopefully not down and out, just out. Rock will coach the team on Sunday. He's got the Memphis scouts, so he'll have it. We practiced yesterday afternoon. We'll practice again this afternoon with the guys we have out there. And, we'll have a couple guys out, and we'll have, one or two guys back.
Joe, are you going to be connected in any way during these practices? Have you been connected during these practices? Will you be at pregame, halftime, or are you just going to kind of let Rock handle the game and the staff handle the game?
No, I watch practice I can watch it on YouTube. So I watch practices, and I text to the, to the ops guys or those guys. We've activated Derek, so Derek's actually on the court right now. But I text one of those guys to go down there if you want to redo something or reemphasize something or go back on something. I text them, and we can do it that way. And then obviously we talk about after practice, and we've already talked about today's practice. We zoomed a little bit ago about what we saw against Memphis last night, and we'll go through practice with Zoom again about 2:00. Go through practice with our guys, and I spoke to our guys pre-practice yesterday, so I'm trying to keep it as normal as possible for them.
Just how do you kind of feel personally at this point? What has this week kind of been like, I guess? Have you ever had to miss a game before? I mean, is this totally new to you or no?
I've never missed a game with the exception of probably when I was an assistant here my first time when I went recruiting. We were bad early, so I would go recruiting, so I didn't have to go to some of the games. And then I'm probably a game or two at New Mexico, the same thing where I had to go recruiting. But as far as a head coach and assistant, I don't think I've probably missed a game in probably 25 plus years. So it's different. I mean, it's different for our guys. When you think about it, if we play Memphis on Sunday, it's 3 games in 33 days. That'll be our third game in 33 days. So everything's different for everybody.
Coach, what do you think the experience will be like trying to watch it to the TV? How often are you going to be screaming at the TV, or are you going to try to keep that to a minimum?
It's just different. I mean, it's different watching it on YouTube. The biggest thing you miss is the interaction with the guys. I mean, you can't be there. The banter before while guys are stretching. If someone did something good, you're standing on the sideline talking to them. That's been weird this year because even during practice, a lot of times you have to distance yourself. Stay at half court or stay towards the sideline, which I don't like. I mean, it is what it is. I usually like to be right on the baseline or right, in the huddle or those type of deals. So it's been a little bit different, but I haven't experienced it, so I really don't know what to expect.
Joe, what do you feel like the areas of concern are when you take on Memphis in general?
I think the big thing is athleticism, length and athleticism. And then, we haven't been able to simulate because we haven't been practicing really, the speed of the game. These have been, since we come back from Christmas, we've had 3 disjointed weeks. I mean, totally disjointed weeks, and it's no one's fault. It is. But now, how do you simulate, game speed, and then 3 times in 33 days, and then you take elite athleticism, and they're in a little bit of a groove. They've been playing every 3 or 4 days, and this is the first time in my coaching career I'd rather be playing than practicing. Usually, coaches want to practice. I mean, we're at the point where these guys need to play and get some rhythm and get some routine down and get some game time in.
Joe, how are you adapting to the other teams in the conference honing in on Jaden Gardner? It seems like he's having a tougher time with defensive sets that other teams are trying to give you from an offensive standpoint.
I don't think anybody's played him any different than they did a year ago. I mean, he's had some at the rim that he missed, and he's had some shots that he'll make. I just think in general, I think we're a little off kilter. I mean, it's been, he missed a lot of the preseason. He missed about 5 weeks of the preseason, where 4 or 5 weeks of the preseason with an ankle sprain. Before the South Florida game, he did not practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we didn't practice on Fridays. So, for him to get in a rhythm, he needs some minutes and some reps and also some rhythm with his teammates, and they need to be comfortable playing with him. I don't think it's as much people have drawn up this new cover two and, this is what we'll do and that's how we'll guard them. And you watch, it's been a lot of one-on-one stuff. Now they do run at them a lot more. they're running a second defender at him, and that's caused him to turn it over a few times. But he's figured that out.
Coach, to follow up on Mark's initial question, player-wise, right now, if you were tipping this afternoon, how many would not be available, or will you not really know that until Sunday?
We've got a pretty good idea. We've got some guys that'll definitely be out. We've got some guys in contact tracing that'll be out. The weird part is usually when you factor in game preparation. You factor in so-and-so has a sprained ankle or, bad hand, so you take him out, and then you start throwing in a couple of guys with, that are out with COVID, and then the contact tracing. The big thing is just getting guys out. We'll have a couple guys out.
How important is it going to be to get the ball in the hole and to not have two or three guys that don't happen to show up, even if they're there, to maybe go ahead and get their share and do your part in terms of scoring points to try to stay in this ball game?
Well, I think the big thing is to get, some of these other guys will get an opportunity. I mean, some of these guys, we've had, Noah missed a bunch of games, early. We had that little groin injury, and hopefully we'll get him back, and that'll give him an opportunity to play again. And I do think that, I think the guys will be excited to play. I said to them yesterday, guys, you're playing Memphis on national TV. You should be excited no matter who's there playing or not. I mean, and getting the opportunity to do it and getting an opportunity to play. And it's been frustrating for them, but it's not their fault. Let's go ahead and move on down the road and get an opportunity to go.
Joe, did the players and the team get retested today, and then those results come back later today? Is that the last test before Sunday?
Well, it depends. Well, now that I'm not testing, I can't give you all the details. We do two different types of ones. The antigen tests, the antigen tests are usually taken, and you get the antigen test back probably within a couple of hours. And we also take the PCRs. PCRs average probably between, if you take it at 7 o'clock this morning, sometimes we get them back as early as 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes we get them back the next morning. So sometimes we take both of them in conjunction. Sometimes it's just the PCR. Sometimes it's the PCR and the antigen. I believe what they did, and I didn't ask this morning, I think they were antigen and PCR this morning, if I'm correct.
So there's a possibility that Sunday still may not happen.
Oh, there's a possibility Monday night might not happen too. I mean, it's just, it's so fluid. I mean, we went from, August all the way through December we did great. And then, in a 2-week span, I go back and look, and I don't know whether I got it from one of our players or I got it, my son's had some teammates test positive. So you don't know. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to a lot of this as we've seen, but the antigen tests are rapid return. So if we get those back, that usually allows us to practice that afternoon. So that way we know that there wasn't. And the PCRs are what Dr. Armin describes as the gold standard of testing. So those usually take a little bit longer to get back. And the way he explained, they're molecular tests. So those take a little bit longer to get flipped.
When you look back on this thing, it's going to be kind of a historic year, the way things have all gone down, and very memorable in many ways. It's been kind of strange and kind of weird, but kind of different, but memorable in many ways too. Talk about the historic value of what all has occurred and how this may all shake out.
Well, John Rothstein, I guess today I read this, and this is something when you really think about the dynamics of this. I think he said that 94% of the teams that are trying to play are still playing during a once in a 100-year pandemic. So I think it's a little bit of a tribute to the medical people and to the kids. I mean, guys, this has been miserable for them, as you can imagine, just the uncertainty, like it has been for society. So I'll tell you the truth, I'm going to try to forget about as much as possible when this thing is over. I'm not. This isn't going to be a good history lesson for me. This is going right in the trash can.
Joe, what's the update on your status? I know you talked about it a little bit Monday, but still the same symptoms? Have they kind of subsided?
Oh, I've been fine. I mean, I've had a little bit of a runny nose, but I can't tell whether that was from walking the dogs or being outside. I mean, I come in early in my office and do some work in here in my house, and then usually do something with watch tape and do those deals, and lunchtime take a little walk with my dogs and then get back to it. But I've had a little bit of a runny nose, to date. So far so good, thankfully.
And did you maybe this week to get any clarification from the league as far, is there a set number of guys that need to be available to play? Is it 7 or 9 or
Seven scholarship players and 1 coach.
okay?
Joe, how much of a concern returning to action at game speed, but Memphis probably the most athletic and long team, trying to simulate that after such a long break?
That's the hardest thing. And then the other thing, guys, we talk about this all the time with our staff and everything else. Where you say, okay, well, let's make these games up. If you watch the NBA right now, they're already complaining about their guys because here's what happens: is you're used to playing 12 minutes a game, and then back-to-back nights you have to play 35, so you get hurt. And I think this return to action and the speed is different. And then we'll go from playing 3 games in 33 days to playing Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. So that's a different dynamic. Now, usually, you have a usual practice pattern. One of those days will be a walkthrough. Now you're wondering, can these guys recover quick enough? Do you have to give them off a day? Give them off Monday, give them off Thursday, which usually would be light practices and preparation. And the flip side of it is saying, well, we really haven't been practicing. We need to have practice time. And then you worry about getting guys hurt, which is always a concern, but probably even more so this year.
Any other questions for Coach, guys? All right. Thank you, guys.
See you guys.